Hey kids, what's going on? Welcome to another week of Love in the Time of Quarterbacks. I am your host, Captain Handsome, named unironically, obviously. Last week we didn't have a super great start. We started 1-2, minus 1.32 units. I did put out a play on my Twitter. I'm not taking credit for it. Normally I will, but I forgot to give you guys my Twitter handle last week. So moving forward, make sure you're following me at CPT_handsome. Usually I use it for in-game plays and stuff like that. But last week I just liked that the Eagles line moved to minus 3.5. So I posted that on my Twitter, but again, I won't take credit for it. I technically went 2-2. But if you just followed me last week and didn't have the opportunity to know that I have a Twitter, that I put out plays on my Twitter, that's not fair to you. So, just trying to keep everything above board. Not that it matters. I give this stuff away for free anyways. Who cares? But for the sake of being as straightforward as possible, we're 1-2, minus 1.32 units. Couldn't have been happier to be wrong about the Dolphins. I cannot believe how well Kendall Lamb played. Even Austin Jackson. They had a ton of tight end help and stuff like that, but I thought they were going to get absolutely manhandled by those pass rushers, and they did. So awesome work, Dolphins. Love you guys. Tua looked awesome. Tyreek, obviously. I don't like Tyreek as a human being. I've never hid that. But he's an insanely talented individual, incredible wide receiver, and man, did he ball out. So good work, Dolphins. I'm happy to see that, but let's move on to week 2. Oh, before I do that, guys, my Twitter handle is at CPT_handsome. That's right, at CPT_handsome. Captain Handsome. Again, named unironically. I've got 4 plays and a moneyline parlay this week. So let's get right into it. First, we have the Bucks minus 2.5. They're playing the Bears. The best line right now is minus 108 at Pinnacle. The reason I like the Bucks so much isn't even so much the Bucks. I thought the Bears looked really bad. The Bears aren't going to be able to run the ball because the Bucks still have an incredibly good run defense, and that means that Justin Fields is going to have to throw the ball to win the game. And I don't think that is a recipe for success at this point in his career. So give me the Bucks minus 2.5 to start 2-0, which is, after last year's disaster in that division, having any of their teams start 2-0 is pretty impressive. The next one for me is the Rams plus, what do I have? Rams plus 7.5. Yes, they're playing the Niners, who might be the best team in football. This is literally it is a divisional home game where the team is getting more than a touchdown. So you always take them. The numbers say that you should. And so you do. I'm not a huge trend guy, but it's one of the trends that I have found to be insanely successful. Made a lot of money off of it over the years, so I'm doing it. The best number I found to still get plus 7.5, because there's a lot of 7s flying around, is minus 110 at Bet Victor. If you don't have a ton of accounts, most people who follow me have 365. I know 365 still has it at plus 7.5, but I think it's minus 115. So you're going to lose a little bit of that juice if you don't have all the accounts. But again, I still think it's worth it to have that hook. Jets plus 8.5 playing the Dallas Cowboys. I think this is a aggressive overreaction to the Aaron Rodgers news, which again, the Jets aren't going to be as good with Zach Wilson as they were going to be with Aaron Rodgers. That's not a question. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. But people forget that Jets roster is still very good. That Jets defense is very, very good. I wish it wasn't true. I wish the Jets would fall into obscurity now because Aaron Rodgers is gone, but that's not what's going to happen. The Jets are going to be competitive. They're going to win at least 9 games this year. They're going to win 9 games. I'm worried they're going to win 10 or 11 games because their team is still that very good and their defense is very good. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets won this game. Dallas is an awesome football team. And for all of the trash talk you want to give them for the way that they perform in the playoffs or things like that, during the regular season, they deliver and they consistently deliver. But I just think 8.5 points is way too many points. I think the Jets can easily keep it. The Jets running game is really effing good. I know Hall. I'm not sure the status of Hall. I think Salah said he's still going to be on a pitch count. But the guy backing him up is Dalvin Cook, who's still pretty darn good. So I think 8.5 points is a lot of points. So I'm going to take I'm going to take those 8.5 points with a team that I think is much better than people are giving them credit for. It's funny because I didn't think they were as good as people were giving them credit for with Aaron Rodgers, but I think that now that Rodgers is gone, everybody is acting like they're, absolute trash, and they're not. They're still a pretty good football team, and I still worry about them as a fan of a team in the AFC East, because their defense is very good, and last year they were a good team with Zach Wilson until they started getting everybody hurt. So people forget that too. Like they're a good football team. So anyways, Jets plus 8.5. Best number I found is minus 105 at FanDuel. I hate FanDuel. FanDuel limited me almost right away, and I'm not nearly good enough a bettor to get limited by these books. It's crazy. I've been limited by like I think I've been 5 books in Ontario since the whole Ontario explosion, and like I'm not a great bettor. I don't make that much money. I don't bet that much. Like it's pretty nuts that somebody like myself would get limited. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, and my last play, for the record, these are all 1-unit plays. I still am a little bit cautious because I don't think the market's set. I think last week was a bit nuts for a few expectations that I had. So, and my numbers aren't crazy skewed from what these numbers are. So I don't see, there's not a massive amount of variance for me. So everything's a 1-unit play this week. Again. My last play is the Green Bay money line. They're at Atlanta. I really liked what I saw to Green Bay last week. I think the team is kind of galvanized around Jordan Love. And he looked really good. I mean, I don't think maybe this is an overreaction, and I hope it's not. But like, I don't think he's gonna be I don't think he's a superstar already or anything like that. But I think he's more than competent, and I think Atlanta, played some subpar competition and looked maybe better than we thought they would. So we think they're going to be good this week. I don't know. This is the one game I had the most variance at because I thought this game should have been won. I thought it should have been Atlanta at -1, and I think the line currently sits at Atlanta at -3 if I remember correctly. So that's a ton of variance for me, which is more than enough for me to put a unit on the money line there for Green Bay, just because I think if you're within one, it's reasonable to take the money line. So I'm taking Green Bay. Plus 135. Bet365 has the best line. It's not often that a square book has gives you the best line, but hey, take it when you can, right? So that's for a unit. And lastly, I'm doing a money line parlay of 3 teams that I don't think are going to lose. One of them is those Packers because I'm getting some plus money on that. Also the Chargers, who I don't think, I just don't see them starting 0-2. I could be wrong. And the Bills, who I think are a cake. I mean, the Bills are my... in a week that I don't love most of the options for Survivor, the Bills were my Survivor pick, and I know it's a super chalk pick. I'm also not one of those people that believes in saving teams, simply because I think that there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are bad that you thought were good, and 3 or 4 teams that are good that you didn't realize would be good, and you can have them later if you want them. So also you got to get through every week, otherwise what the hell matters what teams you save, right? So Chargers, Bills, and Packers, that pays anywhere from around plus 400 to plus 420. I'm putting it down as plus 410. Otherwise, guys, be safe, be smart. Don't forget to follow me at CPT_handsome for potential in-game plays, or if lines move and news happens or something like that, I'll post up plays. They will count moving forward towards my overall record. But again, guys, only bet what you can. Be smart. I have guys messaging me every day saying I need sure things. Like, I'm not even kidding. I get this all the time. And considering how many people watch my videos, why are so many people messaging me? You know what I mean? I feel like I should have a bigger following if I get all these Facebook private messages about football. But guys, there's no such thing as a sure thing. Don't ever think you're getting yourself out of the hole in 1 week. Don't do that. Set your rules, follow your rules. Don't chase losses. It's the dumbest thing you can do. You're not going to get rich in 1 week. You hear these stories and you see guys posting on Facebook, oh, look what I did with this 14-game parlay, blah, 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 blah. What they're not telling you is that $7,500 they spent in the last 6 months with other absolutely asinine parlays where they went 2-12 and stuff like that. So just, I know that it seems like it's it's an easy, oh man, if I could just do this, I can get out of this whatever financial hole I'm in, or I can buy this car I want to buy, or whatever. Don't do it, guys. Don't be silly. Stick to your rules. Be smart. And thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it so much. Have a great week too. Go Fins.